Welcome back. I'm Brandon, the HBAR Bull, and I do some work for the HBAR Foundation, who just announced a new partnership with BCW Group. We're happy to have Kyle Barron, managing partner at BCW, here to tell us all about it. Welcome, Kyle.
Thanks for having me, Brandon. Looking forward to this discussion.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Kyle, BCW is involved with so many aspects of the Hedera ecosystem. Can you run us through what BCW does in this space?
Yeah, sure, I'd be happy to. So BCW Group as a whole has around 10 companies within our group, with each being a different business line, service line, product, as well as different specializations. So I'll quickly run through a few of them. So the first one I want to talk about a little bit is BCW Consulting. So it's focused more on the enterprise builds and different use cases. So our team works pretty intimately with Hedera LLC, different council members, Swirlds Labs, as well as different enterprises that are looking to build on the Hedera network. So we do use case ideation. We are solution architects, and we do a lot of program management for a wide range of companies building in the Hedera ecosystem. So one of the examples that we have worked on, which I guess is pretty well known in the Hedera ecosystem, is with DLA Piper, and specifically with Toko, the digital asset tokenization engine, which I think there's been a lot of coverage probably even here as well, which Toko itself is a best-in-class platform working with a wide range of participants and markets really all around the world. So over the coming months, specifically on the consulting side, you're going to start to see a lot more announcements around exciting enterprise builds happening in the Hedera space, and we're really proud to be a part of many of those initiatives. The second one is BCW Technologies, and so that's where we offer infrastructure as a service. We run a pretty large set of network nodes for a bunch of different layer 1 and layer 2 and private networks. We have a staking business and are very excited as well to build a staking offering to the Hedera community pretty shortly here as that starts to go live. The third one is Hashport. So Hashport is the first interoperability bridge that's connecting Hedera with the EVM world and beyond. So we were very fortunate to work with Hedera LLC, and then the HBAR Foundation, once it was formed, came aboard as well to help us support Hashport and get it off the ground. I think you've had separate deep dives probably with Jesse Whiteside, who's the head of business for Hashport, but we'll also be announcing, good, and we'll be announcing pretty soon here some new Hashport council members, which is going to be pretty exciting, as well as 2 new networks that we're currently beginning the contract audit process on. So I'm pretty excited here to let you know as well. We'll be adding Avalanche and BSC network very, very shortly.
Okay.
So yeah. And then the fourth area is we're launching another business line that will be live on August 8th. So that's just about 2 weeks away. The company is called Archaia. You can go to arkhia.io, archaia.io. And it will be the first enterprise-focused third-party mirror node service provider for the Hedera ecosystem. So we've been quietly building it this year, and with the support of the Hedera Foundation or the HBAR Foundation, we'll be going live with some pretty exciting clients very, very shortly here. We think this mission-critical infrastructure is heavily needed to build really a more resilient network for enterprise applications to have, the building blocks, and in this case, historical data support to function and scale their creations. And then the last area on the BCW Ventures side is the newly announced BCW Market Development Fund, which we call MDF, which is in conjunction with the HBAR Foundation.
So can you give us a kind of a deeper dive into the Market Development Fund in general?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so the BCW Market Development Fund, so it's been launched in conjunction with the HBAR Foundation, as I mentioned. And really this is so that BCW and our team can focus on external ecosystem outreach and bring really interesting projects and infrastructure to the Hedera ecosystem that may not naturally find its way to Hedera on its own. So we have a wide mandate of categories, which include, DeFi, metaverse, infrastructure, on-chain data provisions. But really what we're going to try to do here is cast a pretty wide net of best in service providers to move into Hedera.
Okay, so what kind of, you kind of ran through that a little bit, but what kind of businesses are you really trying to get into with this development fund?
Yeah, so I mean, we're just kicking it off right now, but we have a bunch of projects currently in the pipeline that we're doing diligence on. It's a pretty wide range of companies that are quite ready to make the move to Hedera, which is pretty exciting. So I can't give names, but things like data oracle services, cybersecurity support services for the ecosystem. There's a DeFi stable swap, which is cross-pool, cross-chain pooling solution. There's an NFT platform that's basically like a curated managed service infrastructure provider for like high-end collections. Think of like almost like Squarespace for NFT building. There's a smart contract compiler tooling piece. There's an NFT ticketing solution, an on-chain data analytics service. So, there's a wide range of different things that we're looking at here. And really the way that we're going about it is we actually have a bunch of different tiers that we sort of bucket each of these projects in. So that's going to be based upon like the product's maturity, as well as where it's associated within the ecosystem's needs. So for example, tier one, what we call tier one, will really be focused more on like small teams and projects that are looking to get off the ground and go really from like 0 to 1. I would consider this ideas that come out of things like hackathons that really want to build the solution they created a prototype for. So very, very early stage. Then there's, tier two, which is more focused on startups that maybe have an MVP already, but they need some resources to grow the product and for it to be really focused on Hedera ecosystem specific and getting the support for that. Tier three will be more like existing projects that live in other worlds on different networks that we'd look to have do a network migration over to Hedera. And then tier four would be more native Hedera builds that are a little bit larger in scale and are very highly focused on specifically Hedera ecosystem touchpoints. So that's kind of how we're seeing this.
Okay, so and you're going to be involved with the HBAR Foundation pitch event that we have on Thursday. They would probably be spanning across the different tiers you just mentioned. We have people from Galaxy, we have Hamilton's Reserve, Sale, and so on. Do you have any suggestions for people that are going to be involved with that event?
Yeah, I think just kind of showcase your product. It's actually really exciting to see some pretty heavy hitters that are going to be involved, both on the judging side, having like Arca as an example, but also having companies like Banksa, who've been a pretty strong fiat on-ramp payments company in the industry, looking to get a lot more involved with Hedera. So pretty excited to see that. And yeah, show us kind of where you're at this point and this stage, what you're looking for, and then ultimately how you're going to be able to help grow and support the Hedera ecosystem.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. So, considering you have so many insights into all the aspects of the Hedera space, how do you think the overall development of the ecosystem is going?
So, I'd have to say that from like Q2 2022, so this last quarter, specifically with the involvement of the HBAR Foundation, things have really kicked up into hyperdrive, which I think personally is extremely encouraging. The notoriety Hedera is getting in the market is pretty unprecedented at the startup level, which has not really been seen in Hedera to this point. Separately, from an anecdotal perspective, I'd say, as soon as the markets imploded with the Luna situation, the velocity of household names and large enterprise that have come to the table and said, now's the time, is really astounding. So
Okay.
it seems that the cooling off of the markets has opened the doors, for companies to see the next 2-year period really as sort of a building phase that they would like to launch new digital services into the market, which is super exciting. And the inflow of what we are seeing with the participants that we're seeing is truly awe-inspiring.
So, considering that, in the short to medium term, where do you see the most growth coming from for Hedera?
Yeah, so I'd say on the retail side, in the short to medium term, there should be a lot of growth in, I think, things like DeFi, with projects such as, let's say, HeliSwap and a couple of the other DEXs that are coming to market in the next few weeks. We made sure on our side at Hashport to add major pairs such as Wrapped Bitcoin, Wrapped ETH, USDT, USDC, DAI, in order to support all those exciting like yield generation opportunities that will be coming for the first time to HBAR specifically, as well as Hedera. I think, there's a very vibrant NFT community that has grown leaps and bounds over the last couple of months. It looks like the word is out of how much cheaper it is to launch an NFT collection on Hedera, and marketplaces such as Zeus Markets, really continue to gain traction. So we hope to see existing collections as well as existing innovators in some of the other worlds start to move over to Hedera and build here, as it is more cost effective. And then, of course, native HBAR staking, from my understanding, is around the corner. And as that goes live, I think HBAR holders will get to participate in securing the network and be rewarded for doing so. This has been a massive growth driver in most of the other L1 ecosystems, and in my opinion, no doubt will reward the patience of the Hedera community that has been around since the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, those efficiencies are clearly going to benefit our DeFi ecosystem, our metaverse ecosystem, NFTs, and everything else. But what about, in the longer term? Where do you see this going in the longer term?
Yeah, so I think longer term, moving a little bit away from the retail topic, focusing more on the enterprise. As I mentioned, the wide range of enterprise services that will be deployed on Hedera should be pretty grandiose.
Yeah.
In some cases, in my opinion, it'll be very visible to the common eye. And in other cases, Hedera will be more powering the backbone of this enterprise services that may be more relevant in the B2B space, but no doubt creating a very high collection of transaction throughput on the network.
Kyle, this has been a lot of fun. Do you have any final thoughts before we let you go?
I mean, not too much, but we've been on the Hedera journey since early 2018, and it's really never been more exciting than it is today. While much of the market is depressed and bickering, the vibrancy of the growing Hedera ecosystem is extremely positive. And as more services come online and the ease of deploying smart contracts generate a lot more interest from developers, Hedera really seems to be well positioned to be a darling in the next cycle. When the world wakes up and sees what the builders in the community have all accomplished. So really excited for the next couple of years of building and seeing what we all create together.
Yeah, we're all excited too. Looking forward to it. Thanks again, Kyle.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.